everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on what is our inaugural webinar under what we're calling our Live Your Best Digital Landlord Life campaign in association with our partners at Lendlord. And just in the spirit of complete transparency, Nick, my wonderful husband here, has acquired a minor shareholding in Lendlord, and that really just shows how we think it's such a wonderful piece of software that's going to assist landlords going forwards, and particularly in these extremely challenging times that we're going to be facing. I mean, I think we thought we had it pretty bad over the last 5 years with government intervention and Section 24 and increasing regulation and legislation, but I think COVID-19 has really changed the game even more and made it even more challenging to be a landlord. And I think, speaking to a lot of people that are even more experienced and have been in this sector longer than ourselves, we've been in it, 18 years now? They're saying that the fallout from this is only just going to start coming, and it's going to continue over the next 1 to 2 years as the true cost of shutting down the economy due to COVID-19 starts to be felt. And there's going to be many ramifications of this, and this is why Lendlord has come along at such an important time, really to help landlords manage their portfolios and really keep control of them. It's going to be absolutely vital to survive the next 2 years that people do this, and this webinar tonight is all about introducing you to Lendlord and getting you started using it, because it's a very deep software. It's got lots of highlights that are really easy to tap into, but as you get more into it, you can dig down deeper and deeper and deeper, add more data, get more analysis, go more and more granular. So those of you that are really into crunching numbers and really digging deep down on your metrics, you're going to absolutely love it, just as those of you who prefer just to see things in headlines and graphs and graphics, you're going to love it as well. So that is the point of tonight's webinar, to introduce you to Lendlord. Aviram is the CEO and co-founder. He's going to be running most of the webinar. Nick has joined me. You don't see Nick on camera very much because he's usually behind it filming me. So you wanted to say just a couple of words, didn't you, about why you were so impressed with Lendlord?
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Like Vanessa says, you don't tend to see me on PT that much. She knows more about the PRS than I do. I know what I need to know, but I'm not really the knowledge on the PRS. However, I am a certified geek, and I love the code and love the technology, and I've been heavily involved in sort of strategizing web presence for a number of years now, a few decades or so. This is because PT is not my only thing that I do. I've owned PT and managed it and run it and looked at scrutinized the data now for over 11 years, and it was increasingly obvious to me 10 years ago what the problems were, and for landlords as a whole, and I include everyone in that, obviously, professional landlords and the accidental landlords. And it's my firm belief that adopting a digital lifestyle of some description, mindset, if you like, well, a description of mindset, could cure quite a number of those issues that I see from the data at the back end of PT, what people are looking at. We're up to 20 to 25,000 page views a day, and around about 4,000 people, IPs a day, using PT. That tells me a lot about what they're looking at, people are looking at, the problems they've got, the amount of time they spend on certain things. And it's been and I've been aware for a number of years that the digital lifestyle could basically fix a lot of these things. Now, I've attempted it a number of years ago, about 7 or 8 years ago, building something to actually cure that. But to be perfectly blunt, I didn't really have, PT was becoming such a handful in itself, plus my other things that I do as well, that I couldn't spend enough time with it. That's when we roll forward from that to Lendlord. We came on our radar. See, we get offered on a regular basis many different platforms to scrutinise for landlords. And Lendlord was about the only one that really shone out to us that is something that's very, very effective. And so we took it a stage further, and obviously Abiram and I got on splendidly. And he's, invited me to assist, gratefully, to assist with the strategizing of where we want Lendlord to go. Now, I won't bore you with too much details, but essentially, are you all familiar with the notion of, you've seen the adverts on the telly that compare the market, the auto survey thing you've seen on the television? Essentially, that's where we're going to be going with Lendlord. It's going to become what we call semantic, in as much that it will do the things for you that you don't even remember to do yourself. Does that make sense to everybody? That's where we're taking Lendlord. So it will start doing the thinking for you and put ideas and notions and product in front of you that you might or might not find useful without having the forbearance of being able to go and find it yourself. So that's essentially a very, very quick version of where we're taking Lendlord. And I think right now I will pass, before otherwise it would just be the Nick Tad show for the next I could carry on talking for everyone. But the point is that I haven't got any gold trousers either. So what I'll do now is I will hand it over to Abiram. And Abiram will explain to you exactly what we've got currently, and obviously what we can do currently, and a way forward after that as well. Just to give you a quick rundown, we're going to carry on doing that and then take some questions at the end.
Abiram is the CEO and co-founder of Lendlord, and he's developed the software, and he's going to take over now. And first of all, we just wanted to really give you a kind of helicopter overview of the kind of metrics that you can start seeing once you start inputting your property portfolio and your data into the system. So Abiram, if you'd like to take it over.
Sure. Can you hear me well?
Yep.
And everyone can see the screen? Okay, good. So we'll do it like this. I think that some of our audience are like already users of the platform, and some are new. So I will start with like a high-level overview of a demo account. So I will go over the pages. After that, we'll use like 5 minutes just like to start from scratch, like how a new user should start. And then we'll open it to questions. One important thing to say is that we are planning to do like a webinar, hopefully every week, like on some like a specific topic. So if someone is interested in like a specific area of the platform, he can join. And of course, we will publish it on our website and on PT website and emails. If someone has a question, he can use the chat. I hope that I will see it, or just unmute yourself and you can ask questions, but we'll have like time for questions at the end. Okay, so this is the platform. This is the main dashboard. In the dashboard, I will remove the notification for a second. So here, basically, you can see like widgets that can provide you with a high-level overview of your what you have right now on your portfolio. And we are going to add some more widgets as we go. So currently, you have the portfolio LTV. So what is the currently portfolio value? So of course, it depends on what you entered. We are integrated to property data as a sourcing system, so you can calculate or estimate the property value, but of course you can tweak this number. You can see how much you have in mortgage balance and what is your equity and what is the total LTV of your portfolio. The potential savings box, this is like the finance side of the platform. We started, by the way, from the finance side, so we have many capabilities there. We are running an algorithm. We'll start like to run it every week. We are basically searching the portfolios, like the engine searches, and if we find, according to a sourcing system that we connect to, and the criteria items of the lender, opportunities for remortgage and perhaps save some costs, you will see it here. If you click on the opportunities, you can go to the insights page, and you can see basically two different boxes with the recommendations. And then you can see, what is your current rate, if we found like a better rate for you, and what is like the new term in terms of the initial rate, like when it's going to be expired, and what is the total savings after if you pay the penalty fees. If you do that, then you might save. I'm saying it might because this is like an engine recommendation. So you should assess the platform recommendations with a mortgage broker. Another thing that the action items is to show you how much you still have to fulfill in terms of like to be with all of your data ready on the platform. And there are some charts. So the profit and loss chart, the data is from the profit and loss page. So you should enter the data there to see an accurate state of your portfolio. And this is like the trend of your net monthly cash flow over time. You can also see the gross monthly yield. If you want to see the annual yield, you should go to this page. I will be there soon. You can see the net monthly yield. So we calculate gross monthly yield by rental income on the property value, and net monthly yield is basically the cash flow, is minus the expenses, and you have the ROI that we calculate on based on your cash investment. And we have also the portfolio growth. So this chart's basically, it's quite accurate, but it's basically based on the dates that you entered on my portfolio, the purchase dates. So if you enter that you purchased the property in May 2015, you will see the value is growing on this date, and etc. You can also see the mortgage balance, the rental income trend, and the mortgage costs. And last thing on the dashboard, you will see the next 3 months due dates. And I will explain how to get them here. Okay, I'm not sure I can see the chat. So Nick and Vanessa, if you see like questions, perhaps if you can jump in and ask them. I see now the chat, okay. In time, are you creating an app to enable key data wise on the move? Like if we create an app, so we are, it's like in our roadmap, we are working on it, but it's not available yet. The platform is responsive. So if you use a web browser on your mobile, then you should see all the screens and all the data there. I would not recommend to enter data from your phone. It's feasible, like people do that, but I'm not sure that, I think that the best way is to enter the data on the desktop and view the data on mobile. Okay. Let's go to my portfolio. So basically this is the main screen. Here you can see all of your properties. We wanted to keep it simple, like we would like to do it like as a table view, because it's easier than to look at each column, and basically you can order by any column. So you can order by your properties by property value, by rental income, by current mortgage balance, the rates of your mortgage, and basically the dates, of course, and any other field. So in the columns drop down, you can see all the relevant fields that we capture on each property, and you can put whatever fields that you want, and you can also order by drag and drop the column. And then you can basically, by that, customize your portfolio table. At a glance, you can see on top of the table the total numbers of your portfolio. And you can also filter let's just jump into the chat a bit. Okay, see that Vanessa is answering, so it's good. So I will continue. So if you want to filter by ownership, so you can see if you have like some properties on company, on limited company, and some property on private ownership, you can see it here. So let's say I want to see only my private properties. So you can see that now I see only 4 properties. And of course, the summary has changed. So you can see the metrics only on the private properties. I can select the company, and I can also select a specific company. So if you have more than one company that you hold properties on, you can basically filter also by that. Another thing is the applicants. So if you share ownership on property with a partner, you can see just the properties that you own. You can see the properties that your partner owns. And we got some requests to add also the percentage filtering, so we'll do that as well. Now, to add the new property, it's quite the same with the edit, so I will do it from the edit. When you hover a row on the table, you can see the action items that are available for each property. It's quite different between company property to private property. So what you can do here, you can calculate your estimated property value using our third-party provider property data. As I said, it's not the best way. It depends on who you ask if it's accurate or not, but it can give you some indication. You can upload documents on each property. So basically we allow now any document on any size. So if you want to keep your insurance policy or gas certificate or EPC or the HMO license, if it's like an HMO property, but basically it's open to any other document. Just need to keep, to put the description of the document and upload the file here. And after that, you will see the name of the file. You can see the attachment, so you can download it to your computer or remove it. You can calculate your gains tax. I won't do it now because it takes 1 minute, because what we do is like we are taking it directly from the HMRC website. So you should answer only 3 questions. If you go to the HMRC website, you will need to answer much more questions. But because the platform already took your some of the details that the HMRC asked, then you will get it faster. And of course, you can store this now, the number of the gains tax after that. I will not touch the remortgage yet. I want to show you the edit. So if you want to edit a property, you have this sidebar. It's very quick sidebar. You have sections. So let me show you how it works. So you have the general fields, or like some general details on the property, the date of purchase, property purchase price, property value, etc. Then you have the mortgage fields. So basically here you put the lender, how much right now you have in mortgage balance, the type of the mortgage, if it was like purchase or like you did a remortgage, the method, the rate, of course, the expiry date, the monthly cost, and more fields that you want. Important thing is that this is like also like our approach. We are not forcing you to put any detail. You can also add a property only with address and then tweak it after that. So it's up to you what details you want to put and what not. And you can also put click on the title of the section to show and hide the sections. So you have the calculate fields. So those fields are like, calculated based on the data that you already entered. So you can see your LTV, equity, gross monthly cash flow, changing capital. I had some discussions with users this week on that, and we might need to change it and like the way we calculate. And basically, it's the appreciation of the property, but perhaps we need to take also the purchase cost. So perhaps this will be changed. And of course, the capital gains tax if you calculated it. Then you have some more advanced property details. If it's HMO, you can put, this is a new thing that also a feedback that we had from user, you can put the license due date. If it's currently tenanted, it's very important, like in order to calculate the occupancy level. So if I change it to no, you will see that this number will change. A number of units and other important details that you want to store on your property. Another section is the landlord insurance. You can put your policy number, the premium, and the start and end date. You can do the same for gas certificate, electrical check. And when you put the due date here, you will immediately see a notification appears if it's like in the next 3 months, and you will see it on the insights. I will go there immediately to show you. I want to say before before I go there, but you can see that the 12 months due dates in one area on the page. Another thing that we support, and this is also something new, is tenants. So if you already put tenants on my tenants page, then you can use the tenants that you already put, and you can also enter the share in rent of each. So if you run an HMO, or if you have like 2 different tenants on 2 different agreements, you can also manage it here. You have also the energy performance, and if you have like further advanced or secured loan, like other like loans on your property, you can also put their details here and store them. Each detail that you put on property, you can also put it as a column here and customize your table accordingly. You can see that the occupancy level changed to 83 because I changed the currently tenanted to no. Let's see how much time we still have. Yeah, so this is my portfolio. There are perhaps many things that we can cover in the next meeting. You can also like export to Excel. And when you click on that, we will export just the columns that you see. So if you want to see more columns on this Excel, you should just add them here. Next thing is, let's look at, I will just look at the chat to see if there are some. Okay, I see that Vanessa answers. Yeah, I will answer. Yeah, so let's keep moving on, like 10 minutes more on the demo, and then we will invest time to questions. And also, it's important to say that I'll be there together with Nick and Vanessa after the 45 minutes of the call if someone wants to stay and ask more questions. Okay, my tenants, it's very similar to my portfolio, just for tenants. So you can add tenant, you can add actual prospect or past tenant. It's another feature that we got from user, that if you want still to keep record of your past tenants, you can do it as well. You can put their the deposit, their details. You can put also some notes if you would like. And of course, the tenancy started in the tenancy end date. And you can attach a tenant to a property that you already entered on my portfolio. So you can do it like both ways. You can either like attach tenant to a property for my tenants, or like attach a tenant to a property for my portfolio. So it works both sides. And here, like the glance, here basically you can see at a glance how much you have right now, like tenants, and also because we are a finance, like we started from the finance side, we also, you can see how much you currently hold on deposits and what is the next end date of one of your tenants. You can also filter here by property if it's easier for you, and we will add more filters as we go. Let's go to the insights page. So I think that the potential savings we covered. You can see some high-level insights. We will keep on enhancing the insights to be something that we can give you more data in order to basically make better decisions. And also here you can see all of your next 12 months due dates. The profit and loss page. So basically this page can help you track your net cash flow yield and ROI over time. You can see your net cash flow on the entire portfolio. You can just like select a specific property or a combination of few properties together to understand what are like your P&L metrics right now. So let's take one property and see how it works. So here you can see that we are now in May 2020. Okay, so this is important. So now, because I clicked on, it's like this is the default on this box. This is like the current month. On the bottom, you can see the historical years. So when you enter a portfolio, we take it from my portfolio according to the purchase dates, but you can tweak those numbers by doing like some, I will show it like in a sec. You can also update the historical data very easily. So let's work on this property in May 2020. I want to go to the expenses side. I think that I prepared an example. Yeah. So let's go to this property. So you can see that I can watch the monthly expenses on this property. If you enter the mortgage payment on my portfolio, you will see it here. If not, you can edit any expense. And let's say that I got this month's less than regular, perhaps because of the situation. I can also edit it. I can upload a receipt, and this will open like my files, and you can upload any file to store the receipt here. And you can see that the number has changed. And if you want to add expense, so you should click on add expense. You have like a predefined list of many expenses, or you can click on other expense and put a description. I will cancel it right now. And you can see that in March, I had like repairs to do, so my net cash flow was negative. So if you click on each box here, it's also important to see, you can see the net cash flow for 2020 on each month. You can see the net cash flow basically on the historical years. If you want to update now 2018, that you had landlord insurance of the £20 in 2018, you should just go to the last month you had the landlord insurance £20. This is like December 2018. Click on edit, put 20, done. And then copy expense backward, mark landlord insurance. And I want to do it from January to December of 2018. And it should copy it to all of those months. So you can do it like in bucks. You can do it also for incomes. Because we don't have a lot of time, this is like high level overview. We will do like more webinars to deep dive on more details. The purchase costs, it's also something important because this is like our baseline. So you can also click on edit and you can update your purchase cost in order to get better ROI figure. We are working, by the way, it's very important. We are working on a deal analyzer. So it will be for prospect properties, but also for existing properties. You can also see some other important metrics like cash on cash and the cap rate and IRR, perhaps equity multiple. So you'll have like more information also on the future of the investment on this property, if it's still like worth to hold this property, or if it's like also for prospect properties. So this was like high level on the P&L. I'm running because we don't have a lot of time. Last thing I show is the mortgage search. As I explained, we capture the lenders criteria. We support currently 22 lenders. So if you go for my portfolio, if you click on lenders criteria, then you can see the interest cover ratio. It's a parameter that is the stress test for the interest rate that lenders require. Some lenders require it on the portfolio level. Some lenders require it on the property level. So you can see, for instance, here BM Solutions is not like a lender that is available for me because I don't meet his ICR limitation on the portfolio level. You can see the lenders that are available for me. I can switch the applicants, because if now Kate and John apply together to a mortgage, this is the situation, but perhaps Kate can apply by herself, and then she has perhaps different lenders, or John can apply by himself, and then you see, yes. So here, by the way, there is like a minimum income issue, and you can also update it in the personal. There is a different page to do that. We don't have time to look at it, but you can do it on personal details. And the last screen I show is the mortgage search. So here, basically, you can do like a search for a new investment or for a remortgage. So you can do a remortgage with capital raising or a remortgage without capital raising. If you do a remortgage, you should just like pick the property, and we put the fields according to what you entered on My Portfolio. And here you can see the lender that is available, the rate, and the monthly payment. Yes, some lenders, because of the situation, we need to update. I'm not sure like if it's accurate, but we used to update on every day. So this is like also indication on what you can get. Another note, you should assess these results also with a mortgage broker, because this is like a automated system that generates this data based on sourcing system that we use. Yeah, I think this is the high level overview. I feel that I have so many more things to say, and I see so many questions.
Yeah, there's loads of questions coming in there, Abiram. I think one of the things that I was just going to say to round off this little section was that the data and how it's presented is highly customizable, and I think that's one of the other things that I really love about Lendlord, is that you can change the view depending on, you know, your personal preferences. So you can actually order the tables by attributes and so on, can't you? Is there a quick demonstration of that?
Sorry, Vanessa, I just like read the questions. Can you repeat on the question?
I was just saying, one of the great things about Lendlord is that how you see the data, it's customizable to your preferences.
Yeah.
So the tables can be ordered by attribute, for instance. Somebody's actually asking if you can look at properties by area, which is an interesting question.
So you can add the, so currently I think that what you can do, you can add the postcode if you enter this, and wait, put it, yeah, property postcode, and you can, yeah, we don't have like filtering. We thought about, but I'm not sure like it will be like in the near future, to basically, we spoke about it also with Nick, to provide like different views on the portfolio. So you have the table, but perhaps you can have like a map view, and perhaps you can have like a view with the pictures of the properties and things like that. And you will have a way also like to deep dive with like a different page that describes just the property with all the metrics that are relevant to the specific property, and not just the high level portfolio. So Nick and Vanessa, what do you suggest? Like, should we start like answering questions, or should we, also the audience, feel free to jump in if you want like to see now like from scratch experience from a new user, or perhaps we can start answering the questions.
Well, I think one key question that's come up quite a lot is actually the safety of the site and how the client's data is stored. So perhaps you'd like to address that, because obviously this is something that we take very, very seriously.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, like our platform like is covered by all the GDPR documents, and we did everything in order with a lawyer firm, a UK lawyer firm. In terms of the security, we invested a lot of that. It's like a lot of effort of like our engineering team since the beginning. We encrypt all the communications, all the passwords are hashed, so we will not have any access to your passwords. And everything is like on, so we store it like in the cloud, but we use AWS, so the Amazon cloud, and we use like security groups. So it's secured, and many big companies use the same strategy and infrastructure. But like on our code, we also added some more restrictions to protect the data. and it's like an encryption of communication and hashing the passwords. And also, of course, like we have backups on the data just in case, like not to lose data of users. Is this answering the question?
Yep, somebody's asking about SSL being requested.
Yeah, everything like it's SSL, like the site is HTTPS, like the HTML protocol is encrypted. Yeah.
Number 3.
I see.
Okay, we'll whisk through the questions quickly then, because I think obviously there are some headline questions, and obviously we're very appreciative of everybody that's remained on the webinar to this point. We really do appreciate your feedback. We want to hear it. So we quickly answer your questions because you've done us the kind courtesy of joining us this evening. So we've got, can people create custom fields?
No, wait a minute. This is just sorry, just going to go back. Forgive me, Aviram, but this question's come up twice. Where the data is stored in with AWS, which region?
In the, if I'm not mistaken, we keep it on the US region because we want to keep it like as a global platform. But if we get more scale, and usually you do it for in terms of performance things, so we can consider also like to put like some servers on the Europe region.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody's asked how the platform's monetized. Obviously, as we're saying, it's free to use. The intention is to monetize it through mortgage leads, that if you are offered a mortgage as a remortgage or a capital raising or whatever it might be, that you follow that through to work with one of our brokers, and Lendlord will receive part of the commission from the lender that the broker receives for raising the mortgage. So it's very transparent how it's going to be monetized. We're going to be introducing some additional partners who are going to be providing other legitimate landlord products and services like insurance, for instance, and you will have the option to use those services should you choose to, but it's not a requirement of using the platform. Can we create custom fields?
This one's come up a couple of times, really.
Just 1 minute on the monetization side, and Vanessa would like to add on that. So in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll release enhanced version that will allow the users to also track some of their processes. And of course, here again, like we are not, like if the platform suggests something, you can see like which provider work with us and you can work with him. So we will have like this kind of page, so services, and you can see like for mortgages, perhaps, if you work with our provider, you can track your application online. You can see the different statuses. This is not live yet. But it's like a different page. It's not something that you need to use, but if you would like to use it, you can do. And if we get a fee, we'll also share some of it with our users. So this is for this question.
Yeah, so creating custom fields, because people have their own expenses, for instance, they want to add, can they create custom fields?
So it's a good point. Nick, if you can write notes, let's write it for my portfolio, because currently we are not allowing it, but we should, I think, like if you want to add like custom field for my portfolio, the place that you can add custom fields, just the expenses and incomes. So if you go to the profit and loss page, and you can again select a specific month, select a specific property you want to work on. Let's take this property. You can click on the box of the monthly income, click on edit. So you have the monthly rental that you already entered on my portfolio, but you can also add any other income that you had this like in this specific month, and just like put the description. And you can also put like upload a receipt with the amount. And you can do it also for any expense. So you can use our predefined list, or you can click on other and put any expense you want. You can do it also on the purchase costs. So if you click on add cost, you will have other costs, and you can put expense description, like this is like the cost that you purchased the property, and you can put any field you want, and also upload the receipt. Vanessa, this is good? Or
yeah, that's all good. I think you've answered quite a few of them. No, it doesn't link to your bank account. We potentially might be looking into that in the future, working with a third-party API.
Is there a place where you can put in letting agents' monthly fees?
yeah, of course. You can do it here on the profit and loss. So let's say that you started now to work like in March 2020 with an agent, managing agent. You can put it here, or you can edit. You can add expense and put any description that you want, and just make sure that you click on done, because it's a bit tricky. And here you go. If it's if you want also to update the historical,
edit any of the categories.
Again, can you repeat?
Can you edit any of the categories?
Yeah, you can just need to hover the
Okay.
and click
So I'm
on.
looking for service charges and so forth.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Click
Thank you.
on click on edit, and you can. Yeah. I think, yeah, perhaps we have a bug, but basically we'll fix that. But basically, yeah, you should be able to edit the titles of the description of the expenses and the incomes. Yeah. Yeah. If you have a recurring expense, so you should not. You don't need to enter it every month. You should go just like to the expense and click on the recurring expense. This is currently available only on the last month, the current month of the year. So if you want like to edit something backwards, you should. I think that I already demonstrated the copy expenses backwards. You have also copy income backwards, and you can select the month, and basically by that update your historical view. One important thing, because I got a lot of questions on that, there is the My Portfolio and the Profit and Loss. My Portfolio basically describes the existing state, the current state of your portfolio. On the Profit and Loss, you can basically deep dive mainly on the net cash flow and the historical and over time cash flow and P&L figures. So this is the difference. The platform basically every month keeps a snapshot of portfolio, so you can see the trend in the dashboard. So if you made some changes on My Portfolio, if you sold the property or you think that the value has changed, you should just change it during the month, and the platform will carry over the change to the next month, so you can see the trend of your portfolio. I think that
I think we got to round this up fairly quickly now, just mindful of the time. One question that's actually come up this week, hasn't it, Avraham, is about how it can be used to for commercial property. So could you just explain where we're at with that?
Yeah, so we will add that. We are now working on prospect properties, but we'll add also commercial. I think that there is a workaround to do that. And when you add a property, you can use the ownership to put a company and just change the description to company A, commercial, click on done, and then you can filter it by ownership. So if I want to see only the commercial properties, you can see it here. The issue, of course, that the fields should be tweaked and adjusted to commercial properties. And this is something that now we work on it, and also with like one investor that will help us, like commercial investor, to get the right fields there. So we are definitely, like, it's like in the roadmap, and we'll support that in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just FYI, we have actually, this request has come in literally within the last 48 hours from an extremely high-level commercial user that wanted exactly the same thing. He loves the site, but he needs to be able to put in commercial stuff. So it is our intention to be jumping all over that one forthwith.
Yes, and he's actually helping us with the fields that we need as well. It's coming direct from somebody who's a very, as Nick said, very high level commercial user. Somebody's asked if there's going to be tutorials. Yes, there are. Avram is going to be recording some very short videos between 1 and 2 minutes long to demonstrate each function. They will be going onto the Lendlord YouTube channel, which we're just in the process of building up. However, if you feel that you would benefit from talking to Avram direct, you can book a one-to-one with him to actually go through the demo with Avram yourself, and specifically address any questions that you have, or things that you specifically want to know about. Dhruva, there will be a recording of the webinar. It will be on the Property Tribes YouTube channel and also on the Lendlord YouTube channel. So you can indeed watch it right from the beginning when we were talking about people dancing in gold trousers. So yes, I think
I'm just going to add in here that because there's questions coming in all the time. There's still probably a few here that we haven't answered. The import data from spreadsheets, yes, you can do that. Aviram, I'm sure we'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
The other question we've had on there is also, are we going to link it in with sites like Zero? Yes, that is our intention, to go down that route of being able to use more of the popular sites that we're all familiar with to open up a conversation between the two sites to streamline everyone's work ethic, if you like. That is on the table. This is essentially where this product is going. It is there to make sure, again, like I said to you at the beginning of this, it's there to streamline the daily routine of being a landlord, which is what I've seen for 11 years of ownership of Property Tribes, is where people struggle. So all these things are fantastic. And may I ask, please, if any of you do have any cool ideas, like can you make it do this and can you make it do that, please feel free to bombard me with them. My email address is all over Property Tribes, as you know, at the bottom of Property Tribes. Please do that. Is it going to always be free to use? Simon Duckworth's asking. It's our intention to make it free, to keep it free. We have no real reason, like PT, we have no real reason we want to charge for it, really.
Yeah, I think that I will also answer that. I think that the vision is like PT. We want to provide a free resource to landlords to enhance the platform by the feedback loop that we get from landlords. What we are now planning is like to monetize it by providing services. So if you use our services, then we can monetize the platform. But this is the intention. We want to keep it free.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's the exact business model of Property Tribes, that it's always been Nick's vision to keep it free to use and to monetize it through presenting legitimate products and services that landlords need on a daily basis. And we call this business model reciprocity, and it's really based on the fact that if you feel that you've got value from Lendlord, you can show your appreciation of that by using the products or services that we offer, knowing that it will benefit Lendlord and be fed back into improving and enhancing the platform further. So we really hope that the group of people here this evening who are going to be early adopters of the software, you're so important to us that you feed back to us how you're finding the platform, if you discover any bugs, if there's things that you want to see. We do book EPCs, Simon. We have an affiliate with a nationwide online EPC booking system, which is the same one that you see on Property Tribes. So it will be very much like an ecosystem developing between Property Tribes and Lendlord. So we're trying to build that ecosystem of trusted products and services. And of course, because Property Tribes is obviously public domain commentary, it gives you an extra level of confidence in using the products and services, because if you find that they don't meet your requirements or your expectations, then there's nothing to stop you coming onto Property Tribes and saying, look, I've had a bit of an issue with this. It creates an extra level of accountability, and part of what we're trying to do is build trust through being in this ecosystem. So I do hope that that explains what we're trying to do here, and it is fairly radical, I guess, in some ways, but that's what we're trying to do. So just thank you to everybody for taking part this evening. We will be looking at the rest of your questions that we didn't have time to answer, and Abraham will be creating content to answer them. And just any closing words from you, Abraham?
Yeah, we have the, so we will go over the questions. So I try to answer all of them over the weekend.
Yeah, and of course people can ask questions on Property Tribes or the chatbot, can't they?
Or on the chatbot. So you have, let's see, on the production environment. So you have this chatbot. You can find me and the team here, and we usually try to answer, fast, but it depends on the how busy we are. But we are really trying, and we come back to everyone. And also, as Vanessa said, if you want to do a call with me, a demo call, like specific questions, I'm always happy to do that and get your feedback. So really hope that you will enjoy the platform. And
yes, thank you for the lovely positive comments coming in on the comments on the chat stream. Thank you very much for those positive comments. They're very exciting for us to see that you like what you've seen and that some people signing up. Thank you very much to Ethan for joining us. That's awesome. Somebody actually asking, can you record the length of your leases for your leasehold properties? That's a good question.
Yeah, you can. I think
you can. So
if you go to my portfolio, edit to the property details fields, you should hit like property. What is it? If it's leasehold, you can put like years left to lease on lease. I think, yeah, and you can put.
Fantastic. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
but obviously we're very much open to people's feedback and what you would like to see on the platform. And Brendan, yes, this presentation has been recorded and you can see it as of tomorrow on Property Tribes YouTube and also on Lendlord YouTube. So it's all there for you to see. And we're going to be doing about one of these a week. So we can answer your questions and go dig deeper down, because to be honest, we've really only scratched the surface, haven't we?
Look, the bottom line is this: I've got a list here of about 16 questions. Well, actually, they're coming even more nowadays. So they've got about 16 questions. We will answer all 16 questions. Some of them have been answered already, but we'll write it down on a thread on PT. There is going to be another webinar at the same time next Thursday.
Yeah.
We will announce it on Property Tribes. Anyone got any suggestions? What you'd like to see?
Next week. Yeah.
Next week, yeah.
If you don't answer now, that's fine. We'll create a thread on Property Tribes. Maybe you can answer it there. But we will we'll come back to that one maybe later on. But we'll be back again next Thursday.
Yeah, and this is just the start of our Live Your Best Digital Landlord Life campaign, collab between Property Tribes and Lendlord, and of course you, our users. So thank you very much for joining us this evening, and this is just the start. So lots more to come, and we'll be seeing you again, hopefully online or on Property Tribes or chatting on the chat box to Avaram. Lots of ways to get in touch. Please do feedback to us. We're here to listen because we want to make this the absolute best landlord portfolio management system in the UK and beyond, don't we? So that's our intention, and we can certainly help do that with your input. So we're very open to that.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll say
Cheerio.
bye-bye. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys.